Welcome back to part 2 of our Native American Heritage Month artwork based on the Three Sisters, the staples of Native American and Indigenous crops, and our artist is T.C. Cannon, who is inspiring us to create bright artwork with circles and a modern twist. All right, so last time the first half, we made our corn, we colored it, and we did different colors for the corn kernels. The next thing we're going to do is the background. So this is where the modern twist comes in. What we're going to do on this horizon line is create a silhouette of a city. Now, what makes that different from the silhouette of a mountain is that we're going to use geometric shapes for it, mainly rectangles and squares. So what I want you to do on this line with a blue is I want you to draw different size rectangles and squares coming from the line to make it kind of look like a city skyline. I made some tall buildings, some short buildings. Maybe one of my buildings has a spike on it, like an antenna. This will also be a great division between the sky and the earth if you are painting, so the paint doesn't run together. This one will put another box on top of it. I'm going to connect that one to the corn itself, like it's going behind it. So there's my little bit of a modern twist, not too in your face, but you can see that it's not mountains that's making up a horizon line, it's a city skyline. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to make circles. Now, you can decide if your sky and your ground are going to be unnatural colors, like that one painting we saw in the first part had a pink sky. Well, the sky can be pink, but it was really pink. And then the bottom as well. We can decide if we want it to be an unnatural color. I think for me, I want to create the sky to be blue, but then I might make my ground like a red. So what I want you to do in the sky is make some evenly spaced circles. So you're going to take a crayon that is very different than the color that you expect to do the sky. So I'm doing a blue sky. So I'm going to do a pink crayon because that is very different and it will stand out. And look how I'm just evenly spacing some circles, and I'm pushing pretty hard so that way they're nice and bold. Some of his circles and some of his artwork is also filled in. If you want to fill in your circles, like with the yellow or something, I might do that with a few of mine. You can do that. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do yellow. Remember, your artwork does not have to look exactly like mine. In fact, I would like to look different because, well, I've already seen my artwork. I would love to see your artwork be a little different. Remember also, if you are doing this in one sitting instead of two, if your corn's still wet, I would wait for it to dry, but you can also just be very careful around it if you're painting so that the colors don't mix together. Oops, broke my crayon because I'm pushing so hard. Hey, but broken crayons still draw. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I'm going to paint my sky. Once again, if you're using drawing materials, you can just color around it. Or the key word of watercolor is water. And check that out, because I'm using crayon and it is doing its wax resist type thing. I can still see my crayon marks under it. Ooh, this would also be a good time to tell you that if you're painting somewhere other than a table that's supposed to be messy, you might want to put a messy mat underneath. Also, if you're doing this technique and your crayon's not quite showing through, two things could have happened. Either A, the crayon was not pushed hard enough to make it waxy, or your paint's not quite watery enough. So you can also just put a little bit of just clean water on it and try to spread out that color. Or you could blot it, so that one's kind of getting hidden. I could take a tissue and kind of blot these. Hey, that makes kind of a cool texture. I think I want to keep that texture. All right. Okay, same thing for the bottom. You're going to make circles, and then you're going to color it in. You can do one color, you can do multiple colors, that is up to you. I am gonna probably stay away from green as the main color because I don't want it to blend into the corn too much. Or if you do a green, maybe a different kind of green. I think I'm gonna do green for my circles, but then I'm going to do like a pink ground. Pushing hard. I'm going to use some white inside of it. The white's going to show up as white once I put the watercolor on it. So that's going to be kind of cool. Okay, there we go. And I want a pinkish color. I don't really have an exact pinkish color, so I'm gonna try to make a pinkish purplish color by taking some red. Taking lots of red, this is a big area. Try this lighter blue first. Hopefully it doesn't have too much green in it. At home, this would be a much easier task because I actually have a bright pink at home. Let's go ahead and add some white to it. Sorry, white. Oh, you're getting so dirty. It's kind of purplish. Sometimes colors don't end up exactly how I want them to. That's okay. Maybe I'll do a mixture. Check that out. My white crayon is staying. I think I'm going to do this and the red. So it's going to kind of mix around. Once again, if I really want to clean up my dots, I can kind of blot them. All right. And there you have it, our corn, inspired by Native American Heritage Month, identifying it as one of the important crops of the Three Sisters, in a style that helps us study T.C. Cannon's artwork and his contributions as a Native American to art in America.